Well, you've dropped Romans 13 a couple of times, and that's a passage that seems to be pulled out when Republicans are in power and then put away when Democrats are in power.
Yeah.
How did you handle that passage?
Again, you have to understand the flow and the context of what Paul's doing in Romans. Everything up to the end of chapter 11, Paul is trying to make a case, and he makes his case and does his little end zone dance at the end of chapter 11, celebrating that he's made his point, that God has consigned everyone to disobedience so that God can show mercy to everyone, meaning everyone will be saved. Then in 12, he answers the question I get all the time, which is, hey, if everyone's going to be saved, then why be a Christian? That's why Romans chapter 12 is, therefore, in view of God's great mercy to everyone, how then should we live? And in 13, again, there's a pivot, and this is what I think most are missing. And Paul is now saying, he's still talking to the church, but he's saying, here's how you should relate to the state. All right. Like, we're not going to be rebels, and we're not going to start an insurrection. We're not going to try to overthrow the government, right? That's not what we're here to do, right? We're going to still follow this path of Jesus. We're going to love our enemies. We're going to bless them, all these kind of things. And so we're not going to be these sort of revolutionaries. And so therefore, we're going to submit to the governing authorities. But it's a recognition that this is where I think a lot of Christians get Romans 13 wrong. They think that what Paul is suggesting, is that somehow Christians have the authority to wield the sword, right? And Paul's point is, no, that's the state. That's not you, okay? That's the people that don't get it, that are not in Christ, that don't understand the way of Christ. Romans 12 is what you should be doing, right? Romans 13 is how we would relate to the state. But those two things, you don't cross those streams. You as a Christian are not going to be the one wielding the sword.